He saw her from a distance, a pale shape caught in the reeds of the mill dam. A swan, he thought at first, with skin of milk white. But as he drew closer, he saw the golden hair fanned out in the dark water, like threads of sunlight trapped beneath the surface. She was beautiful, breathtakingly so, and she was gone. He lifted her from the water, her body impossibly light, and in the terrible, hollow silence of that place, a thought took root in his mind, a strange and awful inspiration. Her beauty was too perfect to be given to the earth. Her story, whatever it was too silent to be left unheard. He was a harper, you see. He made music. And he knew with a chilling certainty what he had to do. What song could possibly be played on an instrument born of such sorrow? Welcome to roots of fear, where the shadows of forgotten legends creep into the light and haunt us still. There were 2 sisters, daughters of a king who lived by the bonny milldams of Binnorie. The eldest was fair, with a quiet grace that pleased the court. But the youngest, she was like a flame. Hair of spun gold, cheeks the color of cherry blossoms, a beauty that made you forget how to breathe. One day, a knight named Sir William came to the castle, and his heart was given, at first, to the elder sister. She felt the warmth of his gaze, the promise in his touch. For a little while, she knew what it was to be chosen. But then he saw her sister. The eldest watched the light in his eyes shift, watched it move from her and settle on the golden glow of her sister. She saw the way he looked at her. The way he used to look at me, she thought. The love in her heart didn't die. It curdled. It twisted into something dark and cold, like a serpent coiling in her chest. Every smile the younger sister gave him was a fresh wound. Every whispered word, a new poison, until one morning, the sky clear and bright, the older sister smiled. It was a brittle, sharp thing. "Let us go to the river," she said, her voice sweet as honey, "and watch our father's boats come in." The younger, suspecting nothing, took her hand. They stood on a large stone at the water's edge, the river rushing below them, cold and fast. The younger sister pointed to a boat in the distance, her face full of innocent joy, and in that moment, the serpent in the older sister's heart struck. She felt her sister's slight frame beneath her hands. The push, the surprise that barely had time to register, the cry that was swallowed by the churning water. "Sister, your hand," the younger one wailed, her golden hair clinging to her face as the current pulled her away. "Reach for me." The elder stood on the bank, her face a mask of stone. "No hand of mine will ever touch you," she thought. "You came between me and my heart's love." The girl was swept further down the mill stream. Her pleas grew fainter, and then there was only the sound of the water. The older sister turned and walked back to the castle. She smoothed her dress, she fixed her hair, and she buried the secret in the silent, dark part of her soul where no one would ever find it. The great hall was filled with the warm glow of firelight. The king and queen sat on their thrones. Sir William was there, his face handsome but somber, and beside them, the elder princess, a perfect picture of quiet grief for her mysteriously vanished sister. A famous harper had come to play for them. He held a new instrument, one no one had ever seen before. It was carved from a pail, smooth material that seemed to glow in the firelight. And its strings were the color of spun gold. He played, and the court wept with the sorrow of his music. They felt a grief so profound, so personal, it was as if the harp was telling their own stories of loss. The elder sister sat perfectly still, a single perfect tear tracing a path down her cheek. Her secret was safe. The world had moved on. Then, the harper's hands stilled. He stopped playing, but the music did not. From the harp itself, a voice emerged. Not the harper's, but a sound high and clear as a bell, and cold as the riverbed. It sang a song. It sang of the king and the queen. It sang of her brother, who stood by the fire. The room was frozen. Every eye was fixed on the harp, this impossible thing. The voice grew stronger, a note of heartbreak turning to ice, and it sang of her false true love, William. The night grew pale. The queen held her breath. The elder sister felt the blood drain from her face. The song was a story, a memory. The voice rose, filling every corner of the hall, an undeniable, ghostly truth. It sang one final verse, and every word was an accusation. It sang, "My sister, who drowned me at Benori." A gasp echoed through the hall. The song was over. The harp fell silent. Its golden strings, now broken, hung limp and lifeless. It had told its story. They say the instrument never made another sound. It was just a beautiful, terrible object, a cage of bone, and hair that held a soul, just long enough for the truth to be set free. The legend doesn't tell us what became of the sister. It doesn't need to. Her punishment was not in chains, but in that moment, in the cold, clear voice that sang from her sister's bones, for all the world to hear. The story ends, yet the shadows linger. This is Roots of Fear, and the night remembers.